Hey guys, this is a pre-recorded team game. We're doing 4v4s. We have Bordius, I Will Always Lose, and Order the Chads, Dark Hunter Ezra, who we're playing with, and we're playing against Leader 1, Defeifei, some guy, and Twilight. There's a couple of Conk players on the enemy team, and we're also all Conk players on the other team. And the map is Himayama. So, as you can see by just the you can kind of tell just immediately off the civilization picks that we got a very aggressive team, right? We have Byzantine, which more and more is being played as a fast castle civ. France, and Mongol. So this is a very aggro team comp. The other team, we've got Double Abbasid. That's going to be TC Booms. You got Joan d'Arc, so she's going to be probably playing a feudal kind of presence. And we have a Malian, which is typically like a fast castle into aggression. So we're going with a much more aggressive team comp here, which should be a good thing. So we run into green here. We each kind of respectively do our line north. And since my opponents are here and one's doubling back and one's going west here, but we have our ally kind of like cutting back here, that means that he should be able to secure the sheep down here and across, and any sheep that's in between here, potentially Tio will get. So we run into Tio here, and I kind of thought there'd be another opponent over here to the south. And I was kind of looking for it. And again, I'm going to go deep with my scouting into the enemy territory here. It's kind of important that you do, make sure you once you like see this your first opponent really hit the side here all the way. Don't just like hit and go back. Get a little bit of a better lay of the land. And when we see that he's kits up like a bunch of sheep over here, that helped indicate to us that Tio, when he went through here, he had gone up to his base instead of across. So we're finishing scouting here, and we're going to head to our base. Allies are just kind of doing standard stuff here, just openings, so nothing really to look at, but besides that. 3 on Grand Wine or Age Up, so this is going to be a very kind of a backloaded, I guess you would say, Age Up. And we're going to Age Up. I think Deerstones is, with Con Hunters, is just too valuable not to go Deerstones now. Silver Tree would need some sort of buff before I would start eking it again. So yeah, I mean, we pretty much have our half of the map scouted and a little bit of theirs, so we're probably around 60% of the map scouted, which is pretty good here. At the 3-minute mark, that's kind of what you want. And you can kind of see our route. We're still kind of maintaining our lane, if you would. And we were kind of surprised we didn't have an opponent right here, because we expected an opponent to be pretty close, because usually your opponents spawn pretty close. Kind of like these two spawned fairly close to each other, but on this side they really didn't, so it's just fine, and we're gonna go find our opponents now. Now that we know Malians and Joan d'Arc on front, that just leaves us with Abbasid in the back, which is unfavorable for them, because it's safer for them to move. But it's important that we go back here and see what we where they're at, where the gold's at, where the woodlands are at, etc. So red's aged up, we're aged up, we're gonna be dropping our range here shortly. He's carrying up knights. We see Eco Wing, we see gold, we see stone. So we're just gonna harass here. Where is it? Okay, over here. So yeah, range is coming up. Himayama's one map where the woodlines are very small. Very small wood lines, so you can deny wood very very successfully with the Khan Hunter and Mongols in general. Then we run into the scout. We're gonna double back here. Our allies here are scouting out the Malians, seeing early walling. Knight is on the way. We're scouting around the back a little bit here too. While we're waiting for Mangudai to show up, we're going to do a full 360 around his base and get a better idea here. Committing here to get a little bit more damage in, you know, it could be good, but I really want to scout around his base and make sure I have a good idea of what I could be running around and not. And kind of where I could be expecting a TC drop. So, getting our ecotechs, keeping the queue busy, and again, with 4 of us, at least 3 of us going for aggression early, and our Byzantine player, he's still kind of ramping up his boom basically, but this could definitely still be an aggression play, especially with the barracks coming up this early. Oh, the barracks might just be defensive, but we have a good scout around here. We see he's got a far wood line. It's all about him getting onto wood. Our Mangudai are almost back here, so we're just gonna rotate and start getting vision. Our allies are starting to get a little bit of raids here and there. Do have to stay at a TC range, and we get kind of lucky here. We caught him building these walls, and basically before he could build them. A little bit sloppy there, but we picked one villager, which is nice, and we can start burning down. We burned down this one wall, which is a pretty big deal. Our allies are getting some raids in on the blue player here. They do lose one knight, not the best. Can happen though. Abbasid's booming up over here. Our French ally helped us dive here a little bit to help him get off of wood, which was nice. And now he's got 23 villagers, kind of panicked, not sure what to do. And we're just rolling around trying to catch a bunch of villagers here. With our allies' knights nearby, we kind of coordinate together to make sure we might be able to get a really good dive there. This is good to see pocket with only a few villagers, so you can build a tower and garrison that. Blacksmith is up. Market is starting to get up too now. And for the most part, we see most of his villages over here. We see this house go up, and we haven't headed over here. We're just keeping one Mangudai over here to prevent anything sneaky. Our ally gets a nice little raid here. So we've been able to turn off taking damage on our opponent here. Our Falcon does run out here, which is a little bit unfortunate. But we get it back up and going. And again, we have great vision here, and this is why the deer stun is so good. Being able to crank out this much vision basically, and keep a base fully under observation is really good. A couple more villagers here and there. You can see red's trying to get a couple more raids over here on orange. Our Byzantine is going for a feudal push here. He's prepping rams and stuff to start pushing on here. Purple's got knights massed up and kind of ready to start rotating and helping. Malins has got some units, but he hasn't really committed. We are able to deny an outpost here, which is a pretty big deal. He definitely needed to get an outpost up. He goes for this town center. Honestly, he might have been able to drop this one more square away. And since our ally is diving in with knights, we dive in with Mangudai. Unfortunately, the aggro's not going off properly, so we don't get any, like, we get one round of shots off and we lose a Mangudai, I'm pretty sure, so it wasn't great on our part. But he's able to transition to a different raid on the other side, gets a bunch of orange villagers, which is big. over here. Our allies are pushing over here, and you can see like since everybody's doing their own kind of respective booms, it's hard for them to do much. For some reason, Blue went fast castle as John d'Arc. I'm not entirely sure what. I guess making men at arms, but you don't. I mean, there's nothing they can make that would be really better than just getting units out. I think so. I'm not sure why you would want to go fast castle there, but we can see this base what's going on. We're sticking on this outpost because we do need to have this thing die, but we have a whole bunch of other units here, and we have a con hunter here. That's what I mean by having multiple con hunters. We have a con and 2 con hunters here, and 1 con hunter here, and just having that extra con hunter makes all of this like possible. And you can see that, yeah, he's struggling to hold this push because, again, in castle you don't really get anything as John d'Arc in castle. I don't think like access to men at arms here isn't the best because you got men at arms, you're gonna have to fight knights anyways. We're just harassing here, and Red's getting damage here and there on the sides, and has a nice little army here massed up to deal with Teal. We're kind of avoiding fighting with Teal, but we kind of expect Teal to be booming up the castle. And Green's eco isn't able to get off. A little bit of Miss Maiko here. Losing bunch of units, left with a con and a con hunter, so yeah, not the best, but good enough. And the main thing is we've shut down these wood lines, so Himayama is a map that if an opponent gets greedy and booms a lot, you can do quite a bit of damage to 9. Here we're going to split our army a little bit, give some over to this group so we have it more evenly distributed. Red's been diving and harassing Orange this whole time. Orange trying to help Blue, but they can't. Pink's army isn't huge, but he's investing in a ton of Cairo siphons, and they're putting in a lot of work. We're going on Deer. We have started trade, just a couple of traders. Again, we can see these villagers moving out to wood, but we have Mangadai headed over this way, and we have more headed over this way, so we can see pretty much everything going on. We do see these villagers on orange. We decided to attack this instead. Since orange is also on 3TC, so anything to delay like gold and stuff is a big deal, especially when it's right there. And he wasn't able to drop a tower here or do anything here. This was definitely, he probably didn't have the wood to do it. But basically now we just have set up here. We do miss an opportunity to deny these towers here. Oh man, that would have been great. We could have gone and killed a bunch of villagers there. It's alright though. We're focusing on green, but yeah, if we had to hit these towers when he was tapping them up, it would have been a big deal. Blue's base has been absolutely overrun at this point. Nothing left on him. Knights over here getting onto the army, and again, green's trying to run away villagers. We don't notice this. Honestly, he might have just been running. Might have been the best option for him there. It's tough to say. Malins has got a lot of downs, so we can't commit to a fight there. But Blue is basically dead in the water. Green is basically stuck on sheep. Now, without having wood, you really gotta get wood to do anything really with your base. None of his allies have slung him wood too. That's the other thing too. Like one of these allies could have slung him some wood. Night dive onto here. No army. He doesn't really even have that many vills. So they do start tapping out here. This big old army is coming in to push. Green's gonna lose all of these villagers. Teal's gonna tap out. So really, just showcasing that. Even on team games, like maps are bigger, but committing to like an all-out aggressive style against like 2 booms and 2 fast castle civs can definitely be worth it. Like you can you can punish the plays if you execute it pretty nicely. So, and then let's see. We'll try to find another one here. That was Himayama. Do team 8s. Just trying to think of which one was really good. Let's get the solo ranks. Oh, it was a funny game, but it wasn't. Oh, I found one that's like more evenly matched, I guess. Denny River, that one was a grind actually. That one was just a tap out. That one wasn't half bad, but oh, watch this one. This is our latest one. I wonder, the other water holes. Which one was it right here? This one wasn't half bad either. So let's do this one. This is a 2v2. One of them is Conk, the other one is Diamond, but it's potentially a Smurf. A lot of people tend to have one lower ranked teammate to help them rank up easier. For whatever reason, a lot of Chinese players are doing that. Water holes, Abbasid French, Abbasid Mongols. Very similar team comps. But different approaches taken by us. So let's go reveal map all here for a second. So immediately you can see water opening. Now, I don't think water opening is bad at all. I think it's pretty strong. That's very strong actually. Any map with water, it's almost always worth it to open water. But Abbasid should always eco wing. You should always 3TC eco wing, even on water holes. So because he goes eco wing, and I'm gonna just rush my fast H2. I'm just gonna try to get pressure where I can. I'm looking to deny what I can here on an early timing, right? Because they go water, their military is gonna be a little bit delayed, even more so than normal. Once they get it up and going, they're gonna have quite a bit of numbers. So the idea is to harass where I can, and I expected Abbasid to go eco wing, but they went water opening, so they could potentially still go eco wing. But usually if you go water opener, you're not going to go eco wing. Now you're going to go military wing or culture wing, and probably military wing. Same with French. After you open water, you're going to be a little bit delayed with your stables and your knights, but once you get them going, I mean, you're going to have really accelerated production, right? These ponds with 4 fish can be sustained basically 12 fishing ships forever. You can make a couple more so they could start gathering like shoreline fish and stuff like that. But either way, that's really good food income and really good scaling in that regards too. So we didn't get much for sheep, as you can see, and neither did our ally. It's a map that doesn't have a lot of sheep, so that's one downside. I'm not going water on this. We did miss a lot of sheep here. Blue was kind of nice sheep all. It's just kind of the luck of the draw there, so not much you can do about that. So I do think for this map though, I do like the idea of playing into multi TCs over water, and having your other ally kind of help you, applying pressure and doing what damage you can, and setting up one of your players in a good enough position to win his 1v, and then potentially rotate and help you. Ideally, he wins his. Ideally, they both go after him. So we're over here. And we're just gonna start harassing his gold. You're gonna be attacking him, and we're gonna be looking to get at his knights and all this type of stuff. So we just want to get damage done as soon as possible, and force a little bit of micro. He's pulling a villager, pulling 2 more, pulling in a 3rd villager, and it's a trickle right now. 1 damage or 2 damage a shot, but soon enough we'll be ramping that up here. And yeah, you can tell their eco is way far ahead here though. 4 docks and another dock going down, and 4 ships. So basically the villager count is like 4 ahead, and Abyss is going to go up a lot more actually here soon. But we've got our age up in. Now we can do 3 damage a shot. Plus 10 versus scout. Okay, I didn't know scouts did plus 10. So we can't really do anything against when the scout is here. We can do a lot more damage to these villagers with 3 damage. But we have to be careful with the scout. A little bit of idle time on our archery range here isn't the best. It's just chasing us. We're just going to keep moving. We do have our archery range shift queued here. And once he hits castle or feudal age, our window to aggress along here gets kind of shut down. And we're not letting him scout this back. I'm pretty sure they haven't scouted this back, because that's why he keeps trying to send his scout that way. Archery range production was a little bit delayed, but it's up and about. We do spot a tower. Getting that tower forced is pretty good. Sets him back a little bit. But the big thing now is 2nd TC's up. Almost up. 3rd TC should be on its way here soon. Scout is gone, and we're back and we're harassing, right? Now, blue was able to get up to feudal. We missed this villager right there, which is actually a really big deal. Because if we don't miss this villager, we deny this wall a lot. Like, even going down. We do notice though, at least. Behind this tower going up, we're gonna bring our army down here to try to deal with this. But we're not gonna be able to. We're not going to do much here because the knight's gonna be here. So we're still rallying troops across, doing what we can. Galactic's up 2 TCs. Should be getting ready to drop a 3rd shortly. We're out on this deer pack here. And we realized too little too late there's a galley up. So we take a lot of damage here for no reason. We are able to drop movement speed and get out of here. But basically there's a tower here. Probably still walkable past here. But it's going to be tough to push this. We also caught a range being built. So, yeah, we kind of know what's going to be happening here. But we kind of set the tempo back a little bit. We are dropping a tower here to prevent the night raid. But again, our objective isn't for us to carry here. We're just we're basically giving an area for Galactic to boom. And Ava said, yeah, he aged up with a cultural wing, but he didn't get preservation of knowledge yet. Hopefully he got his text. So we see the knights over here. And see, if these knights were headed over to attack Galactic, it could be an issue, or just attacking me in general. So because we have a little bit of a good mass now, we can really turn them back. Relatively easy. The issue is just the proximity to this lake. So we do what we can here. We are trying to focus the scout. A little bit of a misclick there. We do pick the scout though. Again, pretty big. It's important you shoot the scouts. Archer ship here harassing us. Not the best. We do kill this villager. We still have an access point here. But these 3 knights, we have to basically fall back. But they're going to be able to protect this villager while this wall goes up. So good job by him committing to this, taking the damage and getting that wall up and saving that villager. And we're in a really dangerous spot here. At this point I probably shouldn't have been so greedy. I probably could have pulled them off to do something else. Still 2 con hunters here. Again, knights are taking a lot of damage, but they're not close to death. Our +1 steel arrows coming through, and these villagers hopped over to a different deer patch, and we lose 8 villagers, which is really bad. That was something like this tower, instead of building it here, we should have built it here. Got arrow slits and been totally fine. But yeah, afterthought. So we spot a dock here. We're able to snipe 1 villager, which isn't a huge deal, but it's a bigger deal because he hasn't gone eco wing than if he had. At this point our spread is we're very heavy on wood because we need to get a lot of production down. We need to get production down, we need to get pastures down, potentially a 2TC markets. You do a delayed dock opener over here, so investing on ships over here as well. So all those things definitely add up. We probably could have dropped the dock over here. I just didn't want to do it till it was walled. We'll probably drop one up here maybe later. But yeah, if there was a tower here, it would have been a pretty big deal because we would have been on these deer, we would have lost all those villagers. So at this point, I feel like blue, if blue had wanted to, they could have killed us potentially. 1 second, I gotta put it on pause. Okay, sorry about that. We'll put it on play again. So as I was saying, basically we could be pretty easily killed by blue right now, and he is making rams. The plus side is Galactic's up to castle now, and he can potentially come help us out here. So this whole army that's coming in to kill us, we can kite and do our best here. We do move our wood line to the back, but we're very heavy on wood, so we're going to be looking to drop a ton of towers and pastures and stuff, and hold basically as much as we can defensively. And we do start, we have a stable up, and basically all the wood that we get, we're going to just throw stables up as much as we can, besides like fishing ships, because the knights and stuff are going to be an issue. Keshiks will do okay, but it's this archer ball that's really going to be like the backbreaker, is what it felt like. So over here, Galactic's trying to wall his side. No avail. He is getting hit by camel riders. Purple has also gone fast castle. I'm not sure what wing he goes. I think he went eco wing, but I can't remember exactly. So Galactic's getting army out, but it's a little bit later than our opponent. His opponent must have gone military wing actually. Yeah, he must have gone military wing. So we're panic building towers here. We have 2 stables up. He does not want to commit to a push here. I think the towers have him scared because they're upgraded. And he's dropping another tower here. So they're kind of in this weird spot, right? where right now Galactic's primed to basically outboom everyone. And I'm okay. I'm in an okay spot. Losing those villagers kind of set me behind, but the big thing is at least I'm doing fishing behind this. I'm getting a war junk. I didn't mean to make a war junk. I meant to make a light junk. A little bit of a mistake on my part here, but it's not a big deal. But we're floating a lot of resources here, so we need to be dropping stables and stuff right now because we got 300 wood. We pull these villagers off to this back gold. And we do have the Springwood ship up. Horsemen commit here, but basically we don't super commit to this fight. And he took long enough to do this push that Galactic was able to push off Purple's army and then come over here and help us fight this. So a couple crossbowmen, a couple Gulam, a couple camel riders. Just the debuff on his Royal Knights is big. The crossbow's doing work, the Gulam's doing work, so we're going to trade into this pretty well. We do decide to pull back our cav archers here, commit his archers to way under the TC here, and let our cav do the rest of the work here. We garrison a bunch more villagers here just to get more arrow power. And we finish cleaning up this push. And Purple's looking to get a couple more camel riders going. We do have a market set up. On this map, when it's this close to the edge, it's better to trade to neutral trade than to your allies trade, so this is why we do that. We're at 86 gold. If we went trade to our ally, we'd probably get like 68 or something like that. That's one thing that you do have to pay pretty big attention to in team games now. You can't just... It's not always favorable to trade to your allies' gold. Definitely check it out. So after we kind of clean up this army, we're going to wrap around the south. The idea is we want to eventually drop a dock on here, reclaim this water. But we're going to wrap around the flank over here, get on his gold, get on his wood, you know, see what we can see. And fishing is kind of getting back up on mine. After he lost all that army too, you can see blue scored dramatically dropped. But now it's basically the counter push coming from Galactic here. And we have lots of towers around our TCs here. A bit of a misclick here. This stable should be going up already. You see we pulled a villager here to drop a dock. Again. And we find walls back here, so we've basically pulled aggro and detention down to over here. Purple is sending a monk to go pick up relics. Loses this monk. It's a fight that we're okay with taking. We just have to be careful because that galley is so close. And because of this aggro, he misses this dock drop, which is a pretty big deal. And from here we can drop a couple towers and we can retake water here, which is a pretty big deal. Because we've invested in water. A couple of military ships here, which is not a bad thing. A couple of docks. And we can make 5 more fishing ships, so it's kind of worth it to stop doing it. A little bit of miss micro here. But basically, like what he's invested into here and what is kind of something like that his economy is based off is this water. If he loses that, it's gonna be really painful. Galactic's all up in Purple's base. Demo ship. Oof. That was a little bit of a misplay there for sure. But you can see Purple's booming good. He went military wing and now he went triple TC, but it's not a eco wing triple TC. So he invested into this after docks and after Galactic. And it's much more expensive. And he doesn't have the same eco tech, so he's still costing him oh, is it only costing him 32? I guess it only costing him 32 as well, but the big thing is the military, the buildings, the houses, the lumber camps, the town centers. That 30% reduction is a pretty big deal. Over here we're getting onto Blue's eco now. He hasn't realized yet, which is a pretty big deal. our tower, or our duck doesn't have naval aeroslits yet, but killing all of this is huge. Like, this is gonna really mess up his tempo for his food income, right? Because he's not, you know, he was running off of that much eco, so for him to lose that is a big deal. But 2 galleys out, and we're happy with the damage we did here. Knights come up over here, but we have a tower here, aeroslits coming through, and we have our army here, right? With our army here, we're super comfortable defending this. Behind this, we're massing up more, and triple stables, double ranges, and we're up to 11 traders as well. Walls getting cranked out here by Galactic, which are a big deal. Definitely help us. This Uru we placed is pretty greedy. Super forward. It's gonna suck that we're gonna lose it, but not end of the world here. Springwell ship's gonna, or war junk, but a Springwell ship come out, push back these archer ships for us. And behind this, we're just kind of remassing an army. You know, this is that tempo thing, right? Where basically his eco on this pond is able to expand and do something, but then it's kind of like maxed out there. So him transitioning and spending that much more resources into a triple TC, and you know how long it takes for it to get going is a big issue. So again, we're kind of harassing his water eco again, pushing him back, and we've got a bigger army, and we're gonna keep pushing this south side, right? Force blue to bring army down here, react to the south, and keep him away from being able to help purple, right? And we try to protect our boat here. This doesn't work out, unfortunately. We do have our light junk here. Bad fights here. We should be researching naval aeroslits to be honest here instead. But decent mass of cavalry here. 3 stables. You can see we can go to castle ourselves here. That's something we're going to be looking to do. Again, it's just a bad idea to have feudal units fighting. Naval aeroslits here are going to help a bunch. This is going to make this much tougher for him to kick us off of the water here and reestablish pawn control. And pawn control is important and has its, you know, it has benefits for sure, but you're limited to basically 12 eco. And come imp villagers, I think, are better than fishing ships. So for some civs, maybe not for France, but for some civs they are. So it becomes a thing of where, like, actually maybe not with new changes. Maybe that's different now. Maybe no fishing's always the best, but you know, pushing over here, we find a ton of villagers to kill. Blue reacts really nicely. The second he saw me burning through here, he should have walled this over here. But purple doesn't react until way late. But blue, you can see, this is why we push south, right? Is to pull blue's army away from Galactic's pressure here. And now he's kind of had to commit here. This is a bad fight for us. Our attacks are coming through, so we reacted late. But yeah, we definitely shouldn't have fought here. We find a big archer ball here. We're gonna take this fight. This is all cav, so it's actually a really good trade for us here. You can see he's gonna have to kite away, and basically we're gonna have 10 knights chasing us, and that's perfectly fine. That's just taking away military from over here. Purple's on his last legs here. We dropped double keep. He's trying to make a hold here, but again, not the easiest. Because our ally is super ahead, we have him sling us a bunch of wood, and that helps us reestablish ourselves here a little bit better. Stables, blacksmith. I'm guessing the wood was for traders. Yeah, we spent that wood on traders. We also see villagers rotated to here. And we just run into the middle of the base here. We caused a lot of garrisons and stuff, but at this point we didn't really care, because at this point the game was over. We kind of knew it was over. We sent Kurultai over to Galactic to help him solidify this push here, get a good proxy going. We dropped another dock over here, We almost got the fucking these towers up. I think he brings army over, but if we were able to get these towers up, we would have been in a great spot. This water we can kind of push back. We're burning over here. Still 3 stables. Light junks here. We're running our villagers around, and our light junk here is doing a lot of work for us. So we're gonna keep building. Yeah, and we need to build an explosive junk here, or more light junks. Yeah, so we're gonna try to get this up. Building more stuff here. Still super heavy on wood. 24 traders now, so respectable there. Galactic's push is doing fine here. He's having to pull villagers. And we burned through the front of the base over here. Do see a keep. Just, again, strong defensive play. Shutting down water. And he pulls a ton of army. He kills us before we can do it. He kills our boats before we can do anything, so... we canceled these because we don't need to. And I think we canceled this light junk too, but I'm not entirely sure. And yeah, from there they just tap out. I mean, this push is solidified. He's, it doesn't have a full water control here. Back this up to Imp. My trade is fully boomed, and we're still only on 5 production buildings and just trickling army, but, hitting everywhere we can definitely affects. And just this constant grind into here. So I definitely think Waterholes is a map where water is definitely strong, but if you have an Avicid teammate, you still go Eco Wing. You might have to help him, and he might have to help you defend that dock timing push, but it shouldn't be too bad because you're also on 1 TC and been building army the whole time. So that was it for this video, guys. It's just a little team game, kind of a recap. So hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys on the next one.